ちの未来は僕たちで決めるって強く君を抱いた一人きりじゃわからない二人の幸せをこれからも教えてあげるよ君の笑顔が雨も虹に変え僕を照らしてくれる君は僕の太陽なんだいつも心にときめきを
Ayun, good afternoon sa inyong lahat. Narito naman po tayo sa namang panibagong episode po ng ating Senyui Gaming. So ngayong hapon po, maglalaro po tayo ng isa sa mga pinakasikat na Otome game po. Sa mga mahilig po dyan sa Otome game, may laruin natin ngayon ng Hakuoki Hakuoki Edo Blossoms. So isa to sa mga release na Otome game ng Hakuoki. Nalaro ko na dati dito yung unang yung sa pang version nila nasa sa PSP na medyo medyo tragic din yun. Meron siyang iba kasing version to merong isang version na more on lang siya, story lang, medyo tragic. Alam sa mga aware po dyan sa Shinsengumi sa history po sa Japanese. Medyo po yun. Tragic yung ending ng mga bida doon. So, sa mga nakapanood po ng Hakuoki din na anime, din po, mga bad ending din po, mga medyo marami po ang namatay, mga paborito nating characters, mga namatay doon. At, so, dahil sobrang sikat din yun, ginawa ng nagkaroon ng Otome game or pwedeng sabay na na-release. So, may isang Otome game na nirelease sa PSP at yun ang nalaro ko. May konting siya, may halong romance, mga vampire sila dun or mga demon na lang dating. So dun sa sa story na yun sa anime tsaka sa lahat ng Otome games, medyo tragic yung mga ending din doon. So kung sino may pili dun sa nalaro ko sa PSP, kung sino may pili ng bida natin, siya yung medyo may iba makakaligtas, mabubuhay sa ending. May iba naman medyo hindi mo alam, 50-50 kasi open ending So, di mo alam kung buhay ba sila sa dulo or nategi ba sila. Pero karamihan sa kanila ay medyo sad ending. So, dito naman ito namang nilalaro ko ay Hakuoki Edo Blossoms. Sa Steam naman siya. So, magkano bili ko dito? 300 plus ba yun? 400 plus. Nasa Steam. Tapos dalawang version to na Hakuoki sa Steam. May isa, walang romance. Unang yun. Purely storyline lang sa sa mga nakapanood po sa anime, parang same yata yun. Pero sa Edo Blossoms may romance ng konti. So tingnan natin kung anong kaibahan nito sa napanood sa nagawa natin na game noon. Check yung sa natin sa Otome game ko kasi sa mga nilaro ko to dati, nagpo-post ako sa Tumblr ko dati na Doki-doki ito may life sa Tumblr. So, ang pin-post ako doon ng pagdating sa in regards to Hakuoki. So, ang title nun ay DFB Demon Fleeting Blossoms, yung Demon of the Fleeting Blossom. Yun ang title no sa PSP version. So, ito ay Edo Blossom. So, tingnan natin kung anong kaibahan nitong dalawang to. So, sigaw labas pala sa ating mga viewers, mga pumasok po sa ating live stream. Sigaw labas kay Shinobu. Hello po sa inyo. Huwag po kayo mahihiyang mag-comment at pa-follow na rin po ng ating Bilibili. Okay. So, game na po tayo. So, new game tayo. At syempre, sa mga nakapanood po ng anime na ito, ang bida po dito ay si Chizuru Yukimura. So, ang kaya lang natin palitan ay, name niya. First name. So, palitan natin. Lagyan natin Sen. Ay, pati ako makapag-type. Input. Ayun. Senyu Yokoimura. Sige, dalawa. Yui. Yan. So, confirm. Proceed. Okay. Makakapili tayo ng ano. Doon sa ano kasi sa Demon of the Fleeting Blossoms, mayroong common root sa lahat. Tapos kung sino yung, depende sa choices mo, doon ka mapupunta sa ano kung kaninong root ka. So, kung kayo gusto mo targetin si Hijikata-san, si Okita-san, Hajime, kailangan sundin mo yung nasa walkthrough para makuha mo sila. Kasi pag hindi, pwede ibang character makuha mo. So, ngayon makakapili tayo. Ang mga paborito kong character sa Demon of the Fleeting Blossom na version, si Hajime Saito-san at saka si Okita-san. Kasi si Okita-san medyo 50-50 yung ano yung ending niya dun eh. Hindi ko alam kung mamamatay ba siya o buhay siya kasi medyo sad eh. Si Hijikata-san, parang tragic yata yung ending ng kay Hijikata-san. Siya yung leader ng Shinsengumi eh. So yung Shinsengumi, sa mga hindi po aware sa anime, police siya, group siya ng mga police nung panahong Edo period ng Japan. May ba't si Yukimura may pili natin? Select character. Si Hajime Saito-san muna tayo. Ito yung paborito ko. Sa pangalawa to eh. Si kay Saito-san. Sige. Go. Si Hajime Saito-san. So, prologue. At hindi ko lang na-check kung may boses ba sila. Pero may boses naman yata sila dito eh. So, ihandaan yung mga puso nyo pagdating dito. Winter 1864, in order to find my father with whom I'd lost contact, I Senyu Yokomura visited Kyoto. Kasi si to. In the city, I bore witness to a horrifying secret hidden within a group called Shinsengumi, the Fury, a creature with white hair and crimson eyes. Luckily, I was saved from the vicious clutches of the Furies by Saito of the Shinsengumi. So, ito kasi, second part na kasi ito ng So, ito mga kinakwento na ito ni Yokoimura, ni Chizuru-chan, ng ating ebida, ay nangyari dun sa isang version kung saan walang romance. So, ito yung second part na to eh. Okay, because I had discovered that Shinsengumi's secrets, it was proposed that I leave with the Shinsengumi men since they were also searching for my father. Tapos nagpanggap siyang boy. Pero panggap siyang boy kasi puro boys yung nandun eh. As such, I was to serve under Hijikata as the commander's page, a role I performed proudly. So, thus began my life with the Shinsengumi. I'd heard rumors, whispers really, that the Shinsengumi were little more than a bunch of crook Ronin, but my life with them proved otherwise. Their commitment to protect the safety of Kyoto made them the last of a dying breed, true samurai. It set them apart from those who only craved power. Gusto ko sana kung may boses ni Chizuru ni Yokimura. Among the men was Saito. He was a left-handed master of IAI, who led the 3rd Division of the Shinsengumi as its captain. My fate beside Saito became entwined through the events of the Ikeda Inn incident, the Hamaguri Rebellion, and the Burano Koji incident. So ito kinuwento niya sa first part. I remember one such time where 3 men claiming to be demons, Chikage Kazama. Gusto ko boss itong si Chikage Kazama. Si Chuda yata nag-boss niya ni. Kyuja Amagiri and Kyo Shiranui confronted the Shinsengumi. At tagal naman. Uy. Mayabang i-click. Ayun, right click pala dapat. However, time has been unkind to us since then. At the time, the fight of the shogunate was threatened by the Satsuma Choshu, which later culminated in an inevitable battle for control of the nation. In an effort to defend my life, Saito confronted a demon one-on-one in battle, and he drank the water of life, which transformed him into a fury. Unfortunately, the battle ended in the favor of Satsuma Choshu, and the Shinsengumi were driven from Kyoto. They set sail for Edo? Paano mo panaso? Edo? Edo ba? Edo in hope of a new start. Okay, start na ba tayo? O narration pa rin to? Uy, sigaw labas kay Waffen Trigger. Ayun, start na. Chapter 1. January, may year. May buwan. May boses ba to? We sailed from Osaka, clinging to our desperate hopes, and with good fortune reached Edo safely. We used the humble home of one of the Hatamoto as our headquarters for the time being. One thing that became private to our attention is how the talk of the Satsuma Choshu troops flooded the city. Although I have tried my best to forget them, the events of the Battle of Toda Fushimi still left a bitter taste in my mouth. To strengthen the Fury Corps, whose numbers were threatened, Sanan and Hisuke had been running tirelessly around the city in search of candidates. Their method of recruitment, however, was a question I had decided was best left unanswered. Beyond all of this chaos, I felt extremely frustrated by how little I could do to help the warriors. Haba ng wala pa rin ba silang boses? Kibis ang boses! Tapos start na tayo. It was a wintry day, edging in the cusp of a spring. Among the brisk winds blowing through my window, I heard the townspeople shouting, Isn't it great? Repeatedly. Okay. Over a month had passed since our first arrival in Edo. So ito yung parang second, pwede kung sa mga nakapanood ng anime, parang ito yung continuation, ganun. Kung buhay, yung
Yukimura senpai, どうしたんですか?
Yun! May boses na. So, Yukimura, apelido natin. Kazuy Sakuma?
次に薩長と戦えるのは一体いつになるんだろうな。そのために今、土方副長が幕府のお偉いさんに掛け合って再選の許しをもらおうとしてるんだ。
Pag click ba natin to, may lalabas? Ay, wala pala. As the two of them exchanged points, an outside voice interrupted their conversation. Si Shinpachi, ito. Si Sanosuke Harada. Si Sano? Siya pala Sano. Sanosuke kasi. Oh, were the two of you planning on going somewhere?
豚書の中でじっとしてても気が塞ぐだけだと思ってよ。せっかくだからパーッと飲みに行こうと思ってるんだ。相馬、野村、お前らも来るだろう。
俺は。
Soma.
この時期に飲むのはちょっと。
Familiar boses dito.
バカ野郎、そういうのがダメだっつうんだよ。豚書の中で腐ってたって状況が良くなるわけじゃねえだろうが。つべこば言わずについてこい。
お前も来るか?
No, thank you. I believe I am going to refrain. There are other things to which I must attend, okay?
万が一土方さんが戻ってきたら親の葬式に出てるとか適当に言いくるめといてくれ。
留守番頼むぜ。
Sayonara. Nagakura and Harada were practically dragging Soma and Nomura out the door with them naladkad. It became a somewhat common occurrence for both Nagakura and Harada to go out for drinks lately. Sure, they were cheery on the outside, but I was afraid to think that their apathy was a result of the defeat in Toba Fushimi. Talo sila dun nakaraan. Although it was a huge relief to hear that Kondo's shoulder was recovering well and that he was due to return back to active duty soon. Kondo, ito yata yung ano? Captain. Captain pala si Kondo, tapos si Vice Captain si ano, si Hijikata-san. Both Kondo and Hijikata's top priority was negotiating with the chief vassals of the shogunate. Parang maganda pakinggan shogunate. As a result, the person tasked with ensuring that all the duties were seen to completion at headquarters was Saito-san! I think it might be in Hijikata's office demo. But I imagine it would anger him quite a bit to hear what had used it without his permission. Give me a moment, please. If I recall, there's another set as well. Let me find it. Hi. 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 Teka. Okay. Inkstone. Yeah, inkstone and ink. Will this do? Saito extended his hands to grab the inkstone and he began to glide it across a short table to make ink. Beside him sat a thick pile of documents which I had assumed were what Saito had in store for himself. Ano, Saito-san? Is there anything that I might do to help you? But are you supposed to do all of this work by yourself? That would be impossible. Teka lang, search ko yung... Ay, siguro labas pala kay Hio Hachi at kay Franz Pascual. Pati na rin kay Definitely Not Waffen. But parang ano kayo, magkakilala ba si Waffen-Träger tsaka si ano, si Not Waffen? Waffen? Okay. Saito was silent, turning to stare at me with a blank expression. After what looked like a moment of deep consideration, ba't pa hina-highlight to? Press to read terminology description. At yun pala ibig sabihin yun. A tool where you pierce a small hole through stock paper. Yun pala yun. Okay. Paano ibabalik to? Teka lang. Ayun, right click. Hi! I began to enclose the parchment as instructed. Quiet sounds of ink pressed to parchment and the following raffle of said parchment filled the room. Come to think of it, it had been nearly a month since Saito had drank the water of life. Normally, it would have been excruciating painful for him to be awake, let alone accomplish tasks while there was still sunlight. But looking at Saito operate with such swift efficiency, I would have never guessed otherwise. Without being too invasive, I stared at him deeply. Titigan natin deeply. It was at that point where I had begun to question whether or not his Fury transformation was all a part of some elaborate dream I had. Yung Fury nila, transformation, yun yung nagiging demon sila. Napuputi yung buhok nila, nagiging mala vampire sila. However, I knew this to be untrue because I saw it with my own eyes. Aroy! Ayan na, dugo. What happened? Masa-trigger na siya. I cut my finger with the all. Paano pronounce all? Don't worry, it will heal quickly. Ano? Mag-transform na siya? Ay! Saito grabbed my hand eagerly. Nagka-transform na siya, may dugo! Then, it was as if he were caught in a daze and he stared intently at my fingers as blood began to trickle. His face was pale as snow, but his eyes had a peculiar sparkle within them, as if he were hungry. Ayan na, yun na, tatransform siya. I couldn't help but find this odd. Watching his eyes gleam with such force and constraint worried me, and I called out to him. Ano, Saito-san? Ara. Tatransform na? Hindi pa. At last, Saito seemed to snap out of his trance, glancing away awkwardly.
急いで手当てをしろ。傷口から毒が入らぬとも限らん。
Sugatan lang ni. Kunti lang yan eh. Ano na yan? If someone had been watching the two of us from afar, this would have been difficult to notice, but thick droplets of sweat began to form on Saito's forehead. Eh syempre, pinipigilan niya mag-transform eh. It was obvious to see this was atypical. I assume it was because... Ano, Saito-san? Do you want blood? Aray. Ano ka? Ano, Twilight? His shoulders perked almost immediately. I knew it. Even though you become a fury, you've been forcing yourself to stay awake during the day, which I'm sure is only draining your energy. Oo nga pala, di sila pwede magpaano. Kailangan matulog sila. However, Saito neither confirmed nor denied my claims, instead sitting stoically in silence. Perhaps my comment was out of line, but it was impossible to ignore the signs. Oops. Why are you pushing yourself so much? You could be like Sanan and Hisuke, and you could rest during the day and act during the night. That way, you could minimize your fatigue. Saito glared at me with white-hot intensity for entertaining such an idea.
俺が昼間ここを開けたら、誰があんたを守るというのだ。
Char. Siya daw magpaprotekta sa atin or kay Yukimura-san. Ha? The meaning of Saito's words had not registered immediately after he'd said them.
様があんたを連れに来た時、眠っていて気づきませんでしたでは話にならん。
Si Kazama, si Ayan, a demon, Chikage Kazama. Siya si Kazama, itong lalaking to. A demon previously affiliated with the Satsuma domain. He heads the Kazama clan and seeks the protagonist as his bride. Oh.
他の人間は出払ってしまっている。だから俺が起きて見張っている。
Yung dugo kasi ni Yukimura, kaya pakalmahin yung mga fury, mga katulad nila.
何か問題でもあるか。
No, it's not, but... Are you telling me that the only reason you stay awake during the day is to protect me?
副長からの命を受けているからそうしているまでだ。
Si Kondo-san. Demo.
俺もタイムの一環だ。あんたが気にすることではない。
Saito spoke curtly before falling into another prolonged silence as he toiled away with the inkstone. I had no response prepared, so I could only watch him work quietly from behind him. With that, I was left with no choice but to return to my work. Later on that evening, I patiently waited for Hisuke to wake so that we could discuss the day's event. The sun dropped into the horizon, melting to the dusk like fresh amber dripping from the tree. Ayan na si Hisuke-kun. Ohayo, Hisuke-kun. Oh, Hisuke! There's something I wanted to ask you. Do you have a moment to spare? British? Someone may overhear us, so do you mind if we step outside? So close. As a fury, how much of a strain does it put on your body to stay awake during the day? I nodded and Hisuke stroked his chin. It seems like Saito has been working just as hard as he was before he became a fury, but he looks like he's suffering tremendous pain. Originally I planned on telling Hisuke about my interaction with Saito, but I wasn't sure of how best to phrase it. It was almost as if I said it aloud. I was dehumanizing Saito, reducing him to a monster in spite of who he truly was. Aroy. Hindi. My reaction alone seemed to give Hisuke all the information he needed to reduce the situation.
そろそろ発作が出てなきゃおかしいと思ってたんだ。昼間あれだけ動いてるんだから。
So, what do you suggest I do? Should I tell him to drink blood? Hisuke paused before answering, staring at a nearby lantern flickering in the darkness. Maybe it was difficult for him to decide as well. Fury sila lahat sa Shinsengumi. Di ko lang ma-check kung sino yung mga hindi na naging Fury. Nakalimutan ko na rin paano sila nag-transform. However, Hisuke was the only person I trusted to advise me on how best to approach Saito. Lots of it. Lakasan ko ngayon para marinig niya pa. What could I really do? If Saito were to suffer one of those episodes, was there anything I could do? Maybe, and this was a big maybe, I could save Saito by letting him drink my blood. Sorikora. Naro, what is it? What's wrong? Is there anything else bothering you? Bothering you?
前に三男さんがお前について話してたのを思い出してさ。
Ano yun?
鬼の血を研究すれば落ち水を改良できるんじゃねえかって。
He could pick the water of life. Let me see. So, demon, itutukoy niya, stronger and more powerful than humans. They have rapid healing powers. Chikage Kazama, Kyoshi Ranui, and Kyoji Amagiri are among their numbers. Okay. At ito. Pati naman, no? My blood. Hindi natin makapili.
もちろん俺は反対したけどな。成功の見込みがあるかわからねえ実験にお前を使わせるわけにはいかねえし。
Teka, check lang ako ng let me see. Sigaw labas sa mga kakapasok lang kay Billy numbers. Pakipalitan po inyong pangalan para pumabang sa naman. Mabasa ko inyong mga names. What Hisuke said had troubled me because I had a suspicion that I was being watched as of late. Had that person been Sanan? Sanan? Si ano? Nakasalamin ba yun? Di ko maalala mukha. Hisuke noticed me contemplate the application of such a thing. And seemingly in response, he pulled something from his pocket to hand to me. Ano yun? Is that, droga ba yan? Ba't ganyan itsura? So, Mibu means as Kodo Yukimura. Papa ni Yukimura-san, ni girl, ni bida, ni heroine-chan. Dutch educated doctor in service to the shogunate and the father of protagonist. He has been missing since shortly after his arrival in Kyoto. He was experimenting on the Shinsengumi. He is rumored to be in the western part of Japan. Gamot nila. But how in the world did Dr. Matsumoto? I had been under the impression that Dr. Matsumoto was firmly against researching the Furies. Naruhodo. I grabbed the medicine handed to me by Hisuke and I placed it snugly in the pocket of my kimono. Medicine, a bitter compound developed by Ryojun Matsumoto that was used to stifle symptoms of the Fury affliction. Okay. So I'll tell him to drink this medicine when I start exhibiting symptoms, right? Aray ko. Wakata. I'll keep this as a last resort. Diyan eh. Oops, nalagpas ako. Hiska waved happily before turning around to walk back into the building. After a few steps, he seemed to have remembered something and he turned to face me again. Parang ano eh, horror ang dating ng ano to eh, dahil sa music eh. Ha? Hajime all recovers of Shinsengumi. Teka, mag-save pala tayo. Save. Paano nga mag-save dito? Right click? Nope. Di ba makapag-save? Enter. Nope. Control. Paano nga save nito? Ah! Hindi! Na-skip ko. Backspace? Hindi. Iba kasi yung option niya eh. Okay. Caps lock. Hindi siya makakapag-save. Okay. Basahin natin sana. Nalagpasan natin. Asa na yun? Once more, his body said and walked away. He was right. Saito had quite a penchant for working himself to the bone. He was different than the other warriors. His tendency to prioritize both the Shinsengumi and by proxy, Jikata's orders was unwavering. Of course, no one considered it to be a fault, but see per se. It was becoming increasingly difficult to ignore that his dedication was taking a toll on him. Saito sacrificed his humanity for the sole purpose of protecting me, so if there was anything I could do to elevate his pain, even just a little, I would do it. Hiske had just mentioned that father left some documents behind in Mibu. Perhaps if I were to visit my childhood home, I could uncover even more information about the Furies. That's a Rosette. I would visit my home tomorrow. Okay? Larga. Pero paano ako makapag-save? Asan yung save option? Walang save option. Give me the save option. Shift? Not shift. Control? Alt. Ano bang option na ano? The very next day, I ventured to the outskirts of Edo in order to locate my old place of residence. A bed of overgrown weeds covered the yard, giving me the impression it was left undisturbed for some time. Yung bahay ni Yukimura. If I had to hazard a guess, father's study would be the best place to look for clues about the water of life. As I crept inside a musty room, I saw what looked to be a moving shadow and I was startled. Oh, may tao? Oh no, did I just stumble upon robbery? I nervously held my breath with my back against the wall, peeking slightly around the corner to see. Oh, tatay niya yan! A familiar voice called out from the room. Could it be? No, there was no way I could possibly mistake that voice. It was Oto-san! My heart suddenly sank in my chest as I called out to whom I assumed to be my father. Tara, horror nga itech! The floor creaked ominously as the shadow approached me with the slow, measured footsteps. After I stepped into the light, I saw him myself. It was Oto-sama! Teka, saan na yung ano natin? Hindi ko mabasa. Ba't tayo mag-ano? Ayun, okay. There stood my own flesh and blood. A wave of nostalgia crashed over me. Oto-sama! Yakap siya. I ran up to him instinctively, hugging his body tight for the first time in years. The faint smell of a chemical wafted from his clothes, a scent with which I was intimately familiar. Hi! I was so overcome with feelings that tears began to form uncontrollably in my eyes. His warm, wrinkly hands reached to pat my head tenderly. Such a kind, familiar sensation. Suddenly, I was thrust back to my childhood, lost in the illusion that the years since I'd last seen my father were all dreamt while I slept cozily in my futon. Otosama! Where have you been this whole time? His hand stopped their gentle patting. His smile, however, was as bright as ever. It was a smile I knew well. Asan na yung ano ko? His lips moved with purpose as he spoke. Domain, kina Kazama na domain? As he desired, I told father everything about my travels to Kyoto up until the current moment. How I was under the watchful eye of the Shinsengumi, and all about what I had seen in their company. How I witnessed the crushing defeat of the Battle of the Tatoba, Fushimi, and our subsequent retreat to Edo. Narito ako. But I cut myself off before I could continue. Because as I was recounting my stories of Kyoto to him, I suddenly remembered all that Sen and Kazuma had told me. Buti na lang, hindi Sen lang nilagay natin. Mayroon tayo. May Sen nga pala dito. Princess Sen, si ate girl, one of the demons whom the protagonist had met in Kyoto. She serves as the head of the Yasi clan and often goes by the name Sen. Okay. If I were to ask father about those things, then I was afraid of hearing such rumors to be true. In all honesty, I was deathly afraid. The silence was deafening after I stopped speaking. It was father who broke the silence. Ako, sasabihin ba niya yung Furies? This question cut directly to the point I had hoped so desperately to avoid. I stared back at him intently. After a pause, I nodded despite my reservations. Aroy, ba't mo ko sinabi? In my travels, I encountered 3 men who claimed to be... okay. Akala ko sabihin niya ka na. Who claimed to be demons Kazama, Amagiri, and Shiranui. Okay. Amagiri, a demon affiliated with Satsuma domain. He is a master of hand-to-hand combat and is often seen with Kazama. Pero paano ko babasahin to kay Shiranui? Di ko nakabasa yung kay Shiranui. Amagiri lang. And there was a princess as well, Sen. Ala, yan talaga lumalabas. Paano bang option? Ano na yun? Alt? Hindi natin maano. Oh, and there was a princess as well. Okay. I see. So it's likely then that you have already been informed by them. Hindi siya tunay na papa ni Yokimura-chan? His silent confession rendered me speechless. This man wasn't my real father. Koda Yukimura, the adopted father of the protagonist, who, although a member of the Yukimura clan, isn't related to her by blood. Oh. Nakalimutan ko na. Ano ba siya? Anime yun? The reason being? His tone suddenly dropped, losing all pretense, and I sensed a darkness within him. Horror time. Feeling something to be off, I looked at him quietly. What I saw was his usual stern expression, but it was colored a tad differently than I was used to. Okay, siguro labas kay Nailim, Ligutan, Solebem. Hello, ayan. So, biglang horror tayo ngayon. Yun na. Otosama. Lord Kazama's wife, si kay Chikage. Did my ears deceive me? Did father just refer to me as Lord Kazama's wife? At first, I believed myself to be speaking to my father, but now this person to whom I was speaking seemed to be someone else entirely. Had father always smirked so creepily? Uh-oh.
これからこの国で大きな戦が起こる。
Okay, hindi pala ito yung continuation ng sa anime. Medyo iba lang ng slight. Soon, war will consume this country.
幕府は間もなく滅び、無秩序と混乱が日の本を覆うことになるだろう。人間どもが同族で争っている隙に、この国を我ら鬼の手に取り戻す。
Sino ba magulang ni Yukimura? Nakalimutan ko na. Madness burned in father's eyes as he made this grand proclamation. In this moment, I was reminded of something. There was a question I had asked him at the beginning of our unanticipated reunion. Oto-sama! Where have you been all this time? Tugdug, 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 tugdug. Silence. A silence so thick I could hear my heartbeat. Father's lips curled into a malicious grin before he muttered under his breath.
たじゃないか。とある藩にかくまわれていたんだよ。
Dome ni Kazuma nga. Ni Kazama. Chikage Kazama.
徳川幕府に代わってこの国を動かしていくことになる薩摩という藩にね。
Ooh. Satsuma Domain. A domain governed by a opposition daimyo named Shimazu. Initially, they supported imperial unification but eventually allied with the Choshu domain and other like-minded men in the interest of removing shogunate. Oh. Ara. Takbo, Yukimura. Aroy, nahuli na si Yukimura. A haunting chill shot down the length of my spine and I backed away steadily from father. Protagonist missing. May additional dagdag. May na information. The protagonist missing father who was secretly performing experiments upon the Furious in collaboration with the Satsuma Choshu. Oh. This man was not my father. He may look just like him. I was unsure of what had happened to him since, but I knew this much. He was a changed man. Ah.
風間様の妻。この国の新たな始祖となるのだ。
Toranada! No! I hastily pushed father aside and I sprinted for the exit out of the house. Takbo! I have to escape by any means necessary. Takbo! Whatever happened to change my father was still unknown to me. At the moment, I had no inclination to believe that he could possibly entertain a rational conversation. Until then, I'll have to return to the headquarters. Just then, Ara.
こんなところにいたのか。聞き分けのない子だね。
Gah! How? From what I remember, he was far behind me inside of the house. How in the world could he have just appeared?
聞き分けのない子にはお仕置きをしなくてはね。
Ara. Father's eyes flashed a brilliant shade of gold. What was going on? Ang kalbo. May siya, sungay.
さあ、一緒に行こう。風間様と共に新たな国を作り出すのだ。
Yun na. Something sharp began to split from beneath his father's forehead. It was the same inhuman horn that I had seen emerge from Amagiri's forehead all that time ago. Nande! I was stunned in disbelief at what I was saying. Unworldly was the only word I could conjure. Everything else, it seemed, was useless.
気になるか。そうだろうな。鬼の血を引いているとは言っても、私の血はお前や風間様とは比べ物にならぬほど薄まってしまっている。鬼本来の姿になることすらできぬほど人に近づいてしまっているのだ。
Oh shoot.
だが、落ち水が私の体に流れる鬼の血に活力を与えてくれた。
Uh-oh.
どうだ、この美しき姿は。
Water of life? Don't tell me you! If my ears weren't playing tricks on me, then father truly drank the water of life of his own accord. A demon who had consumed the water of life out of selfish pursuit to become an unstoppable being.
さあ来るんだ。そして風間様と共に新たな鬼の楽園を作り出そう。
Oh. Father, who by this point barely resembled himself, let alone a human, snatched at my wrist. What? Paano ba yung Japanese yung no? No! No lang. I made a feeble attempt to swat his hand away, but he was much too strong for me to reject. Somebody, please! Anybody, please help me! Char!
Yukimura!
Ayun na! Ayun na! Duck daw! I ducked reflexively just as I was told. Aroy! Then I heard the chilling sound of flesh being split open by the cold hiss of steel. Oh no! Father's eyes widened angrily, and he rancurously turned his back to see his attacker. Before him stood Saito-sama! Why are you here? Saito stared back at me sternly, shaking his head before turning to face my father. Demo! Hi! Ang cool ng boses niya. His tone stung harshly, and without question, I stepped back as he suggested. All I could ask was, would he be alright? Saito possessed the strength and ability of a fury, but this battle would take place in sunlight. Ay, nga pala, umaga. Father let out a languid sigh before clutching what sounded like metal within his pocket. Then a silver twinkle glimmered in his hand. It was a handful of scalpels. Scalpels pala yan. Father fit them between each of his knuckles, then he began to shout maniacally. Ara. As his voice bellowed loudly, Father shifted his feet into a fighting stance before whipping out 8 scalpels towards Saito. Tinamaan ba? Each scalpel was easily deflected by Saito with the swift flick of his katana. Then, Saito darted closely around my father's slash at his exposed shoulders. Dugo! Both shoulders spewed ribbons of crimson blood that splattered across the bed of weeds below. A display so gruesome I needed to cover my eyes. Takpan natin mata natin. Despite my feelings regarding my father's deception about our relationship, he was still the man who raised me, a father whom I had loved nonetheless. But now that he had become a fury, these wounds merely tickled his flesh before they immediately began to seal. Oh no. Just as Saito had said, no matter what powers father had gained, he had no background in swordsmanship, which meant that his newfound strength could only take him so far. Father, however, gave no indication that he was willing to relent so soon. The man descended through this country. Akala ko ba si Kazama gusto mong maging ruler? Father chuckled despicably as if drunk from his own power, and then he hurled more scalpels at Saito. Ooh. Once again, Saito parried the flying scalpels. Just then, one scalpel in particular. Tinapon pa sa akin? Sa kanya. Kala ko pupunta sa atin. Bounced off of the tip of Saito's sword and paano ba i-pronounce to? Ricochet. Okay, ricochet something to pierce the chest of my father. Crimson blood splattered over Saito's clothing, the metallic sting of which hit my nostrils. Being showered by that morbid shower of blood made Saito's face crunch in pain. Oh no. Suddenly, Saito's movements became strained as if he were out of breath and he glistened with sweat. Oh no. Oh no!
どうしたのだね。先ほどに比べて動きにキレがないように見受けられるが、ある程度動いただけで疲れてしまうほど体力がないようにも見えん。ということは。
Then father's lips smacked mischievously. Ara! I watched as Saito winced wryly, then he quickly covered his nose with the sleeve of his kimono. There was no mistake, it was blood.
なるほど。お前も羅刹となったのだな。
Another evil laugh echoed from my father's booming voice, and he drove a scalpel into his right arm. Blood began to ooze slowly from the stab wound. Yun na lang, sinaktan niya sarili niya. Para lang maano si Saito-san. Magtatransform na ba si Saito-san? Although he himself had sustained no injuries, Saito clutched at his body with a warped facial expression.
血を飲みたくて飲みたくて仕方ないだろう。血の甘さと温かさがどれほどのものか確かめたくはないか。
Oh no. Tatransform na ba siya? With each heavy breath, Saito stepped backwards, hoping to distance himself from father's blood. However, the scent had already done its work, and temptation had already begun trickling into Saito's frame of mind. His fingers could barely keep their grasp on the katana, which shook nervously. Ara, tatransform na ba siya? Like father said, Saito seemed exhausted and his moves reflected that. He couldn't subdue father like this. Oh shoot.
どうしたのだ。先ほどとはまるで別人のようだぞ。
Father smirked with glee, glancing at Saito to aim another scalpel before throwing it. Shh. Solace, whatever of it existed, was taken in Saito's speedy healing abilities, but it did little to soothe the sharp chub of a well-aimed stab wound. Saito winced as thick, vicious streams of blood formed around the wound. Mastering whatever willpower he could, Saito dug his heels into the ground, pointing his blade at father. Battling under direct sunlight was enough of an arduous task for Saito, as the harsh rays burned the surface of Saito's pale skin. But Saito persevered, albeit desperately, to fight. Where did such inspiring strength come from?
しかし人の身で落ち水は口にするとは愚かなことをするものだ。お前たち人間の体は我々鬼とは比べ物にならぬほど脆い。落ち水を飲んで一時力を得たとしても、いずれは正気を保てなくなり、やがては人を襲うだけの化け物となり果てる定めだというのに。よくもまあ修羅の道を選び取ったものだ。浅はかとしか言いようがない。
No! So what would become of Saito? If all was as father stated, was Saito destined to become a wretched monster that feeds on the weak and the helpless?
悲しいだろう。絶望しただろう。血水を飲んだお前はもはや人には戻れん。人としての穏やかな暮らしなど望むべくもないのだ。
いらん世話だ。穏やかな暮らしなど望んだことはない。敵地で刀を交えれば生きるか死ぬかどちらか一つ。命を惜しいと思うなら鼻から腰に刀など差しはせん。
どこまでも強がりよ。いいだろう。どこまで本気なのか確かめさせてもらおうではないか。
Father drew another scalpel from his sleeve pocket. Ay, ayan na. Pipili tayo ng choices. Pipili tayo. Unsheath my Kodachi. Keep faith in Saito. Okay, so kailangan natin mag-save. Saan ako mag-save? My God, kailangan ko mag-save. F10, F11, F12, F9, F8, F7, F6. Wala bang pang save file dito? Control. Alt. Walang ano. Saan ako mag-ano? Delete. And shit Mekodachi. At this rate, Saito will quietly sleep Mekodachi shit to avoid father's notice. A short sword passed down through the generations of the Yukimura clan. Its name is Shotsuren. Pwede bang ano? Parang ba ito isi-save? Kasi it was crucial that I find an opening, one that could give me an opportunity to save Saito.
無理なことはするな。
Then Saito's curt command snapped me back to reality. Then a sudden visitor chimed in.
待て行動。
Ooh! Boses Nino! Came a voice that started father, freezing him in place. I knew this voice. It was...
こんなところで何をしているのだ。
si Amagiri.
勝手な真似は慎めと言明してあるはずだが。
Amagiri-sama.
すぐに戻れ。ここに来たことを風間に知られれば、お前はただでは済むまい。
ですが、あの男はすでに羅刹になってしまっています。このまま放っておけば、後々厄介なことになるのは明らかかと。それくらいなら今のうちに。
私は風間からお前を連れ戻せと命令を受けている。
しかし
もう一度言う。戻れ。
Amagiri's tone was biting, and he glanced sharply at Saito, who had still been panting quick breaths.
この男ならば我々が手を下さずともいずれ自滅する。人間としても羅刹としてもな。
Iba yung Fury, iba rin yung Demon dito. Yung Demons, katulad ni Amagiri, tsaka ni Kazama. Yung mga Fury, yung mga tao lang na uminom ng water of life. Katulad nila, nila Saito-san.
それに行動。お前がこの娘に余計な手出しをしたことを風間に知られれば、義理の親子といえどもただでは済まるぞ。
Rather contemptuously, father gazed at Amagiri as if in the cusp of the short retort, but he said nothing. Eventually, Amagiri nodded and the two of them vanished like thin smoke into the mist. Saito let out a heavy sigh, showing relief as he sheathed his sword back into its scabbard. Saito-san, daijoubu?
大したことはない。それよりも何故勝手に豚書を飛び出した。 もし俺が後を追ってこなければ、そしてここに来ていたのが風間だったら、俺が羅刹となった後も昼間起き続けているのは何のためだと思っているのだ。
Saito's tone was cold, and I felt myself cower nervously from his explicit questioning. I apologized for causing you trouble.
詫びるのではなく、ここに来た理由を言えと言っている。
Medyo may pit kasi si Saito-san. Well, at first I contemplated how best to tell Saito, but I came here searching for clues on how to suppress the side effects that come with the Fury transformation.
何故だ。三男さんの命令で羅刹体の研究の手伝いでもさせられているのか。
No! I was hoping to do something that could help ease the suffering that comes with becoming a Fury. Saito fell silent. When I saw some of my father's blood get into your throats earlier, you seemed like you were struggling, so...
何とでもなる。
Saito averted his gaze callously.
開けたまま来てしまった。もう用は済んだのだな。では戻るぞ。
Sigaw labas kay Rowelan Soiko Refoheyo. Hello po. Oh, I turned to get one last look at my childhood home, but afraid to cause even more trouble, I rushed to follow behind Saito, who'd already begun to saunter away. Just then, Saito-san? Aroy. Saito collapsed to his knees and I sprinted up to him worriedly. Ayun na! Nag-transfer na siya!
静かにしていればすぐ治る。
No! Ano ba yung no sa Japanese? Sa kandan ko. All of the color in Saito's face began to drain. In fact, he looked the farthest thing from fine. Sweat dripped from what seemed like every pore in his body, and his pupils dilated twice their size. He must need... You need blood, don't you? Are you having an episode right now? Saito spit out a wad of saliva, refusing at first to confirm what I had suspected. With strained movement, he began to clutch his breast tightly as a method of dealing with the pain. I had never seen Saito in such a condition such as this. If we remained out in the open, there was no telling who may stumble upon the two of us. Hurriedly, I grabbed Saito's arm and led him into the refuge of the house. What should I do? Give him blood? Give him medicine? Make him endure it? Di tayo tumingin sa walkthrough. So, hindi ko alam kung alin yung tamang decision. So, either happy ending, good ending, sad ending. Make him endure it, give him medicine, give him blood. Blood, medicine. Blood, medicine. Blood, medicine. Okay, mini, mo. Ay, gitna. mini, mo. O yan, blood. Okay. So, di natin alam kung bad ba to o good. There was no time to dwell. I unsheathed my okadachi, sliding the cold edge of the metal across the tip of my finger. Slowly, thick crimson droplets began to slide from the length of my finger before landing onto the wooden floor. I timidly offered my bloody finger to Saito, who had watched me sheepishly cut my own self. Saito-san, please drink my blood. Saito gave no reaction at first, and his brow furrowed as if he were wrestling in silent deliberation. Don't worry about this cat. I'm a demon. Demon si Yukimura. Nakalimutan ko na. The flesh will seal itself in no time. If you don't drink my blood, then you're only going to feel worse. Please don't think of me, please. I watched Saito's mind work as I urged him to drink, and finally, he eagerly grabbed a hold of my hand. He hesitantly put his soft lips against the open cut, sipping slowly at first before sips turned to deep gulps. Aroy! Lumulunok na! His Adam's apple bounced rhythmically as he sucked with more force, and then his breathing calmed. Eventually, without a sound, he pulled his wet mouth from my wrinkly fingertip. R18 na to See, you look far better. I'm happy that you took the chance. Cyrus' cheeks blushed and he scurried off to the side to avoid making eye contact. Ay, shy siya. Nope, it's already sealed back up. I suppose having my powers comes in handy from time to time. Kaya gusto ni kasama na pangasawa si Yukimura kasi demon din siya. Pero wala siyang sungay. There was a pause and Saito scratched his head timidly, thinking of a ways to respond. He delivered his suggestion correctly before stepping out. I knew that he just couldn't help himself, but it was understandable to think that drinking another person's blood was something to which he still required some adjustment. Syempre. Of course, there was no better way to treat those awful symptoms, so I couldn't blame him at all. Saito and I had safely returned back to our base.
Saito-san, Yukimura-kun, どこかにお出かけでしたか?
Shimada-san. Shimada. Kai Shimada, an officer in Shinsengumi, as well as a spy with the watch. He's been with the Shinsengumi from the beginning and has been involved with all incidents in Kyoto, such as the battle of the Ikeda. Shimada welcomed us back warmly, but I wasn't sure how to answer his question discreetly.
雪村がどうしても外せぬ用があるというので共に出かけてきた。それより仲が騒がしいようだが。
それがですね、近藤局長が戻ってらしたんです
Oh,
よ。
bumalik na si Kondo-san. Teka lang, ayusin ko lang yung aking avatar. Avatar. Okay? Saan na yun? Chief, Shinsengumi Chief, a position that oversees the administrative and strategic organization of the group. Ay, mali. Kondo-san? Honto?
ええ、これから合議が始まるそうなので集まってくださいとのことです。
Sigaw labas kay Chloe Encarnacion. Welcome po sa ating live stream.
そうか、わかった。
Wakata.
行くぞ雪村。局長や副長をお待たせするわけにはいかん。
Hi. Ayan na, si Hijikata-san! Ito si Hijikata-san. Ito si Kondo-san. In the meeting room, Kondo and Hijikata and the rest of the Shinsengumi captains had already gathered.
よし、これで全員揃ったな。それでは合議を始めるぞ。
Si Kondo-san, napakabait nito na, na character eh. Pero sacrificial din siya. Si Kondo-san naman, ay si Hijikata-san naman, masyadong stricto, pero mabait naman.
さて、新政府軍との戦については諸軍らも気にかかっていると思うが。
Imperial Army. A specific reference to a core battalion of capable infantrymen who use Western military techniques and advanced weaponry in the latter stages of the Boshin War. So may mga ano din to, mga history sa kanila. Ewan ko lang kung ano. Based on real ano ba? Ay, mali.
我々の次の戦場は甲府だ。甲府城で敵を迎え撃つこととなった。
Pupunta tayo ng Kofu, or sila. We are going to storm Kofu Castle. Kofu, a territory surrounding Edo under the jurisdiction of the shogunate that is generally regarded to be the land protecting Edo Castle. No specific lord governs this plot of land. At hindi ko siya ma-next. Ba't di ko yung ma-next yung ano sa Kofu Castle? Yun lang talaga. Baka up. Nope. Baka shift. Ned. Hindi talaga. Yun lang talaga. Okay.
よし、説明してくれ。
俺たちが甲府に出向く目的は新政府軍に慶喜公の標準の意思を伝える。
Lord Yoshinobu. Yoshinobu Tokugawa, the 15th Commander-in-Chief of the Tokugawa Shogunate. After restoring political power to the imperial court, he serves as a feudal lord of the Tokugawa clan, stripped of his previous standing. Oh, ayaw mag-ano.
奴らに立てつける途中から甲府を守るってことになってる。表向きはな。
だが真の目的は甲府城にて敵を迎え撃つことにある。もし今回の任務が成功したら我々に甲府城をくださるそうだぞ。ここは気合を入れて臨まねばな。そうそう、今日は他にも諸君らに伝えなければならないことがある。
Kondo crossed his arms, gazing around the room in proud awe at each of his men. It was clear that he was building anticipation, ever the master showman. I cherish the times when Kondo would show his more youthful, excitable side.
なんだよ。言いたいことがあるんならもったいぶらないでさっさと言ってくれよな。
長倉君はせっかちだな。そんな調子では城勤めなどできんぞ。
Kondo chuckled at his own remark before clearing his throat to resume his more official
なん
tone.
と今回の任務にあたって俺は若年寄格という身分をいただけることになった。若年寄といえば大名だぞ、大名。
Daimyo! Or executive lieutenant minister, a position in the shogunate government that was involved in supervising samurai below the rank of a daimyo, as well as other vassals of the shogun. Ay, mali.
さらには大久保剛という新しい名前まで頂戴してきた。
Chiyoshi Okubo.
勇ましいだろ。
Kondo blushed bright red with glee and had never seen him so enthusiastic before. But none of the other captains, Nagakura especially, seemed to share in his enthusiasm. Surprisingly, all of them looked dejected, as if they were given something bitter to eat.
というわけで、早急に甲府行きの支度を進めてもらいたい。
Ginawa lang mukhang magandang balita ni Kondo-san, pero bad news yan para sa kay Kondo-san. Medyo masyado lang talaga siyang bait.
我々が幕府の方々にどう評価されるかは諸君らの働きにかかっているからな。期待しているぞ。それでは本日は解散。
As soon as the assembly finished, Kondo walked with a spring step, whistling as he exited the room. As he exited pala. Wow, Kondo sure is elated to have been given such an honorable promotion. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen Kondo that happy before.
近藤さんはもともと小さな道場の働きを認められ大名に取り立てられたとなれば
So if we win this battle, Kondo mentioned that we could keep Kofu Castle. Teka lang. Saan na yun? So if that were to happen, then it would mean you and the other captains would start working within the castle, right? It was hard to imagine for a person like me who had been born to civilian life. But for a reason I couldn't place, Saito felt less than thrilled about this prospect, and I felt bad.
俺には城勤めなどできんできるのは人を切ることだけだ
Kasi castle na, kulong lang sila. After saying that, Saito's eyes dimmed and he gazed towards the sky, which was empty of stars. Thinking about it then, I wondered how Saito himself came to join the Shinsengumi. I had been working with him for so long, and I realized I barely know who he is, naging she. But if I were to make the effort in asking him, then I'm sure he wouldn't have given a straight answer.
近藤さんは一体何を勘違いしてやがるんだ。俺は一度たりともあの人の家来になったつもりはねえぜ。
なるほど。
大名だかなんだか知らねえが、舞い上がるのを大概にしてくれってんだ。
So, advantage lang kay Kondo-san, pero hindi sa kanila.
30-40年前ならいざ知らず、今の幕府にもらった身分じゃな。
Pangit, yata yung current shogunate sa kanila ngayon. Medyo bad news. Neither Hanagakura nor Harada seemed excited by Kondo's news. Saito had noticed seemed fixed on the two of them as they ranted, wearing these usual expressionless gaze. War was about to erupt. I prayed that everyone would return safely. Si Saito-san si Okata-san di natin nakikita kasi masakit din yun eh. Tanan. Chapter 2 na! So, stop na tayo dito. Ito na yung chapter 1. So, paano tayo mag-save nito? I want to save muna. Paano ba mag-save? QWERTY. Paano ba i-save kasi to? Walang option. Okay, so stop muna tayo dito. Gagawin ko na para ma-save natin tong game na i-touch. So, yun. Hanggang dito muna tayo sa ating let's play live ng Hakuoki Edo Blossoms. Tutuloy po natin ang paglalaro nito. Di ko pa sure kung anong araw kasi naglalaro din ako ng ibang VR games. So yun, wag niyo po kalimutang i-share po ang ating video. Mamaya i-upload po natin later sa sa ating Bilibili space. So abangan niyo po yung natin. Abangan niyo po yung upload natin later. So Huwag niyo po kalimutang pa-follow din po ng ating ang ating Bilibili space, ang ating anong nga din 13975197003 at pati na rin po sa FPS Media. Sa FPS Media ay let me see. Ano yung FPS Media na na web na Bilibili, di ko nakabisado. Ayun, 16893575570. Yun, pa-follow po ng ating ng ating Bilibili space doon. Yun, so maraming salamat po sa mga nanood po ngayon sa ating live. Sigaw labas po kina Chloe Encarnacion, kina Robelan Soyco Refugio, kay Nailin Ligutan Solebem, kay Minerva Carion, kay Franz Pascual, definitely not Waffen. Sa mga Billy numbers po dyan, kay Waffen Trigger, sino pa ba? Kay Shinobu. So yun, maraming salamat po. Later po i-upload po natin yung full full video po nito. So maraming salamat po sa ating mga manood. Kita-kits po tayo sa next next game live stream po natin. Maraming salamat po. Bye-bye.